Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ishim, Barakah Kodash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ishim, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May your brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Raya with another video, and I'll be profiling this video on the YouTube channel Timcast titled, Stores in the U.S. are getting shelves raided over coronavirus fears, medicine shortages starting. This is 2 Esdras 6 verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And these CVS's and Walgreens and Walmarts and Targets and Whole Foods and Costco's and Sam's Clubs are storehouses. And this coronavirus could very well be that black swan event that takes the whole system down and leaves these storehouses completely empty. When you look at all the news coming out on it, it's looking pretty bad. With each passing day, more and more people are getting infected and dying. In Italy, you've got several places in that country under a state of martial law, and they already have stores over there that have been completely ransacked. And in the U.S., you've got about 74 confirmed cases, and 3 are designated as cases of unknown origin, meaning that the person who caught the coronavirus caught it out of the blue and not from somebody who was already infected. But whether it be the coronavirus, another pandemic, a state of martial law, an economic collapse, a civil war, you name it, there will come a time where these stores will no longer have food, clothing, medical supplies, or electronics in them. And these trucks that deliver to them are no longer going to deliver to them. And these people out here are going to panic and revert to a very animalistic state, and being that be or be killed, dog eat dog mentality. They're going to be fighting against anyone and everyone, even so-called close friends and family members, to save their own ass. This is 2 Esdras 15 verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And that modern day sword is that gun, among these other things people are going to be using to fight each other with, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. For the storehouses that were full shall be found empty, and for great tribulation, the coronavirus, another pandemic, an economic collapse, civil war, martial law, etc., etc. And it's going to get so bad out here to where people aren't even going to find goods to spoil, and they're going to start cannibalizing each other, even cannibalizing themselves. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 19 through 20. Through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of fire. No man shall spare his brother. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Horrific famines out here to where people are going to start eating on their own body parts. But hey, Akim, don't get scared when these things come to pass, because it's all just an indication that we're living in the last seconds of these last days, and our salvation is nearer than when we believed. Yahushai is close to returning to save his elect and put an end to the rulership of the heathens, chiefly Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Yahushai even said, how blessed are the eyes that see these things that you see. This is Luke chapter 10. I'm going to read 23 to 24. And he turned him unto his disciples and said privately, Blessed are the eyes which see the things that ye see. And this was Yahushua speaking to the apostles on how blessed they were to see the first coming of the Messiah. But as it says in Romans chapter 15, all things are written aforetime, are written for our learning. Yahushua is also speaking to us today, telling us how blessed we are to be living in the last seconds of these last days and to see the second coming of the Messiah. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which ye see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear and have not heard them. So Akim, just keep doing whatever you're doing right now to make your calling and election sure, showing charity to the brotherhood, putting up your videos, going out there on the highways and byways preaching this word, and following these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities. And you're doing everything you're supposed to do. So without further ado, let's play this video.
Of the panic cycle, of the news cycle, of the outrage, of the disaster stuff. I try my best to be calm, rational, and reasonable, but this is now my, I'm doing several videos on coronavirus because I think the reality is this is something really dangerous, and even with a low mortality rate, you could be affected by this. Supply chains could be disrupted. So here's what I want to show you first. From the Daily Mail, panic buying strips store shelves as people stockpile amid coronavirus outbreak, with one woman turning her basement into a supermarket and a man buying a year's supply of food, which includes 192 tins of Spam. Ooh, I could not imagine eating that much Spam. But I want to tell you something. The threat of the virus is relatively low. We're not looking at the apocalypse, but our economic system is a delicate system, and we are already seeing supply line disruptions. Some medications are now being, there's a shortage in the United States. We're going to start seeing some border checks, quarantines. It's happening in Europe already. It's happening in Asia. And now, as I have warned over the past several weeks, stores in the United States are now having their shelves stripped of goods. I'm going to tell you this, if you didn't go out and get supplies 2 weeks ago, it's probably not too late right now. At least where I live, things are okay. But we're seeing a ton of stores being raided, medicine being raided. So at least do yourself a favor. Go out and get some supplies. I want to show you some of these photos. First, this appears to be someone's basement. Excellent supply, dude. Now here's the thing, listen. What we're seeing here looks like a regular old pantry, to be honest. A guy's got something in his basement, got lots of bottled water, got some...
And to any people out here who have stockpiled this much food, it's very stupid of you to be posting this online, because if this coronavirus is that thing that leads to all pandemonium breaking out on the streets, you're going to be the first one these people come after because you flashed your goods for everyone to see.
Peanut butter, you got some pasta sauce. It'll last them a little while. That's good. All you do is if you buy this stuff, it lasts for a year or longer before it expires. You can slowly eat it. Your worst case scenario is you finished your grocery shopping for the next few months and you're just going to have, spaghetti, beans. Like, he's got a big variety here, all right? Look, these photos. First of all, this photo appears to be Italy, so disregard this. But we have medicine being raided from shelves in both of these photos. We have more photos. People are buying meat. You can see people's supplies. Check this out. There are more photos of supermarkets where people have just raided the shelves and the shelves are now empty. We can see this when it says grocery store shelves in Washington State, stockpiles of medication and supplies. One person asked me, as I've said over and over again, to go and get your supplies. Some people have asked me, to remind people that you need to get your medicine too. I'm not going to sit here and claim that coronavirus is the apocalypse. That's just, every indication says no, but I can tell you that you're going to go to the store and food's going to be gone. You're probably not going to be you're not going to starve. I mean, I don't think we're, again, not the apocalypse, but seriously, you can see people are starting to do this. And here's the bigger concern. If everyone else goes out and buys out all the food first, and then there are shortages, you're not going to have food to buy either. So I'm going to do something that I've...
And the full storehouses shall be found empty, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, spoiling his goods for the lack of bread.
Only been recently doing with these stories about coronavirus, and when I saw this story about panic buying in the store shelves, I was like, now more than ever is a legitimate time to tell you to check out this site, preparewithtim.com. I know it does seem, at least to me, it seems a bit silly, but it is serious. They got this funny little picture of me looking all, and I mean this sincerely. I hate doing, here's the big news. I've been talking about this, not just because I think it's a good idea. I really, really do. And I mean this sincerely. I hate doing these promo spots. You guys never see me do them, but this is legit. This is like a time where I think it can actually benefit you, and that's why I never do this like, go get your food, the end is not. No. But check this out. This company is dealing with 100 times normal volume, and their shipping delays. Keep that in mind. But let's get back to the story, and I'll explain to you why I'm giving them a shout-out, why I'm doing this video. I sincerely believe if this does get as bad as they say, the World Health Organization has said this could be disease X. That's their mystery unknown pathogen, which it could be biphasic. I don't want to suggest it is because there's only been one reinfection, but that basically means you might get it, recover, and then get it again. So if this is as bad as the World Health Organization thinks it is, you will be damn glad you went to preparewithtim.com, picked up some of these emergency food packs, and at the very least, and I will be completely honest, I always want to make sure I do this, it does support my channel when you go and you buy from them. These videos are all demonetized, but ignore that, ignore whatever I'm saying, don't support me. If you hate my guts, just tell me you hate my guts, just go to the store, man, get some water. This is what I've been telling people, listen, we can go back to our government policy after we've all made sure we're safe. This stuff supersedes the partisan bickering. Let's read the story. They say supermarket shelves are starting to be stripped bare as Americans prepare for the spread of coronavirus by stockpiling on medications and non-perishable items across the country. People have been panic buying items from stores ever since health authorities warned that Americans should start preparing for domestic acceleration of the virus, which has infected more than 80,000 people worldwide and killed nearly 3,000. There are now 60 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the U.S., and the first case where the origin of the disease is unknown was confirmed on Wednesday. The CDC has already said it's time to get ready. I hope you're taking it seriously. I really, really do.
And those numbers you just read have been updated. As I said earlier, it stands at 74 with 3 of unknown origin.
Supplies have been flying off shelves countrywide this week, with people posting photos on social media showing the lack of products available in some stores and pharmacies. In Southern California, some Walgreens stores had been completely depleted of cough medicines, cold and flu medications, vaporizers, masks, and thermometers. Shoppers in Hawaii were buying up flatbeds of canned goods, bottled water, toilet paper, and paper towels from a local Costco. If you're somewhere like Hawaii, where you rely on imports from the contiguous states, yeah, you really better take care of this stuff and be on, just be vigilant, seriously. If you're in the United States, you can drive somewhere if you're out of supplies. This photo, again, I'm pretty sure is Italy, because I've seen it before. We can see that medicine has been depleted. A supermarket aisle in Virginia has been stripped of non-perishable items like pasta. People were also sharing photos of their coronavirus stockpiles at home, including one man in Texas who said he bought a year's supply of non-perishable food in one night. I am not saying do that. Whoa. A year. I will say, if it does get really bad and becomes this disease X that reaches 60% of people, I'm going to be wishing I'm that dude who bought a year's supply of food, because I just got...
And to you sincere Akim out there, you don't have to worry about stockpiling food like that. Now, if you do want to get some food to be safe, I'm not telling you not to do that, but you should put all your faith in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai that he'll get you through these calamities. No prepping, survival skills, fighting skills, or anything like that are going to save you from these calamities to come.
Got a couple weeks worth, to be completely honest. It's hard to know how much you're overreacting, or if you're overreacting to something like this. We've seen swine flu, we have seen other infections and other diseases, but this could be really bad. And that's what the CDC is saying. Expect severe disruption. So at the very least, if you're not concerned about the virus, you should be concerned that your favorite foods are going to be gone because everyone else is concerned about the virus. You know what I mean? You might go to the store and see there's no food there. It might not even be an issue of the virus itself, but the attempt to stop the virus could stop trucks from going to certain areas, meaning there will be supply chain disruption regardless of whether anyone even gets the virus at this point. So please take this seriously. They say Jesse Colombo, who is a financial analyst in Dallas, tweeted a photo of his emergency food pile, including rice, Spam, freeze-dried foods, and beans, saying, quote, "I just bought an additional year's worth of food last night. Everyone needs to have a stockpile of food. I wouldn't even touch stocks or even gold or silver before having food in these times." He tweeted, adding he was on edge with everything that was happening in relation to coronavirus and the economy. Better to be on edge than to be underprepared. Better to take care of yourself and ignore what people think about you than to be so worried about your social standing you don't have food and water. A woman in Michigan shared a photo of her grocery store basement, which was filled with shelves stocked full of items. It comes as thousands of people were buying up face masks to protect themselves, despite evidence that most people who aren't sick don't need to wear them. Many businesses are sold out, while others are limiting how many a customer can buy. Amazon is policing its site, trying to make sure sellers don't gouge panicked buyers. Stores in New York, Houston, and San Francisco said this week that mask supplies were running low. Major retailers like Walgreens and CVS had not yet run out online or on a national level, but shortages were starting to pop up. The U.S. government said it's planning to stockpile 300 million masks in preparation. Hey, that's almost one for every American. Despite officials saying that the masks are not necessary to wear in the US or on planes, celebrities like Gwyneth Paltrow, Bella Hadid, and Kate Hudson have taken selfies wearing masks out of paranoia. No, they're doing that for attention. Look, this guy says, how am I preparing for the coronavirus? Just picked up a hog from the butcher, now tucked away in freezer next to piles of beef. Another hog and cow going to butcher in a few months. Grocery stores could shut down tomorrow and my family will still thrive. Men, provide and protect yours. Everyone, provide and protect yours. Do not expect that other people are going to come to your rescue when things get bad. Now, it may be...
They won't come to your rescue. They'll come to spoil your goods with the sword.
Fear-mongering. It may be media hype. We don't know how bad this thing's going to get. Based on current models, what I've seen in they have these graphs showing the spread of coronavirus, it looks like it's going to be substantially worse than swine flu. Some experts are saying it will be comparable, in which case, as the disease spreads, the mortality rate actually starts to go down because we get a better track of what's happening. The first people who get the virus, unfortunately, we aren't prepared, but as we get prepared, mortality rates could start going down. That's great, great, great news. But it still means you can expect to see schools being shut down, business being shut down, checkpoints being set up, and stores being depleted of goods because people are buying a year's worth of food. And guess what? They're not going to be any worse off for it because if this all blows over and nothing happens, all it means is they don't need to go to the grocery store for a bunch of their food for a really long time. They'll come in their basement, they'll grab tomato sauce, they'll grab a bottle of water, they'll make their spaghetti, and then when they finally run out, they'll go to the grocery store. That's the worst case scenario you have to deal with. If this is all hype, if it's all wrong, you got food to eat. I'll wrap it up there. Stick around. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes. Seriously, thanks for watching. And for everybody, I've gotten a ton of messages from people who have gone to Prepare with Tim and bought stuff. I'm going to be completely honest and say I feel silly always being like, buy the food. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't serious. I do mean that because I've done so many videos about this stuff and I never promoted it. It may blow over. It may be nothing. I want to be completely honest. You might come back to this video in a week and be like, man, that guy was an idiot. Yep, maybe I am. I went out and I bought supplies. I ordered some emergency food, and I think it would be smart if you did because the worst case scenario is you eat it. I'm sorry for repeating myself, but I just know that once this all blows over, people are going to pretend like hindsight is 20/20 and say, turns out we didn't need that, right? Yeah, that's a great problem to have. We're all hoping that I'm wrong about all of this, that all of these people are wrong about this, and the worst case scenario is we just eat our food. I'll leave it there. I'll see you all in a few minutes in the next segment.
That's it with that video. But as Joachim can see, we're living in some very interesting times. But again, don't get shook up. Just keep doing what you need to do. As Yahushua said back in Luke chapter 10, blessed are the eyes that see the things that ye see, for many prophets and kings have desired to see them. So with that, I hope you sincere Akim were edified. As always, I'm going to say a Baba Bol, Kwam Yasharala. Till next time, Shalom.